It is the 6th of June and this is your Solana Daily Debrief. Firstly, looking at prices, everything looks fine. Solana's 172 and Bitcoin's over 70k. Now, money printing hasn't started again, so whenever they print, BTC goes parabolic. So this is Bitcoin versus USD M2 expansion. So we'll go over what M2 expansion is in a second, but essentially, let's just call it money printing just to make it nice and simple. When money supply comes up, like in 2021, the Bitcoin price went up. Then when it goes down, the Bitcoin price went down. Now there's been a little bit of expansion and the Bitcoin price is going up. So to kind of explain like I'm 5, let's have a quick read of this because it's brilliant. ELI5 of TLDR. So USD M2 expansion shows how much money people and companies have available for spending and investments. Its rise usually contributes to increased inflation if producers can't keep up with money entering the economy and economic growth. People have more they can invest in magic internet monies, and this is very true. So essentially, when there's more money around, then all of a sudden, the cost to actually borrow that money goes down. And when that goes down, it's very well worth a company going in, taking a massive loan and then buying or acquiring another company or something like that. So what happens is we see this crazy inflation of asset prices. And one of the reasons why the poor stays poor or the middle class stays middle class is because there aren't that many people that actually avail themselves of this because they need assets first. Long story short, because we're just in crypto here, basically as the M2 expansion goes up, prices of internet magical monies should increase as well. Mags goes over the famous indicator hash ribbon, something that I'm not familiar with because I'm not a trader, but basically hash ribbons, we can see capitulations when there's like selling, people sell, and someone's there just kind of buying it up. And this basically shows when there's capitulation, afterwards there's always this big buy. So capitulation, buy, capitulation, and buy. Just a little reminder, Trader Cos, moment of truth for Sol, hold above 175, we're going 200 plus, embrace the bull. I'm not doing any leverage of anything. Just basically it's boring, but spot. And as boring as it is, a lot of traders will still agree with that because otherwise you're going to get smashed in the markets. Mamba has the same viewpoint that he had a daily signal that went off. He is seeing 200 plus Sol soon. And he also put a bid on some Bonk. So with Bonk, look, well, there's a sell here, there's a buy here. So he's obviously trading it. But personally, just dollar cost average, if you like Bonk, and I do. More hopium, because we do like a little bit of hopium. This is phase 2. Prepare yourselves for the outrageous. Hold your bags tight. Don't get chopped up. We're about to enter the normie reintroduction zone. Ride. So don't get chopped up. This can quite often refer to the fact of don't leverage trade or don't over leverage trade. If you know what you're doing with leverage, go for it. Otherwise, probably best that you do very low leverage or no leverage. The ecosystem call is back and better than ever. This is today, 4 p.m. UTC, online and in real life. So there'll be some in real life meetups. I have no idea where they are, but they'll be all around the world in different cities. Have a search in the events and you'll see like this one in Madrid, Barcelona, Paris, Dublin, Milan. They're everywhere. This is just a kind of a watch party. Otherwise, just tune in 4 p.m. UTC and they're going to go over Sphere Labs, Squad, and 21Co. So 21Co is this new thing relating to Bitcoin, I believe. The last thing I saw was BTC has found its soulmate and at the end, maybe a giveaway or two. Probably the biggest news of the last 24 hours is introducing Cloud, the Sanctum token. So FP Lee put in, and I guess the team, put in a massive amount of information and data into this. And I like it. Now with tokenomics, before they go on the LFG launchpad, in terms of actually just being voted on, I would prefer that they were known. However, if they were not known, I would prefer that there was literally like a condition. And the condition would literally say, we will consult with the community on tokenomics prior to launch to get plenty of feedback. Because I think they've done this very, very well. So basically, let's kind of go over a couple of summary things. One thing is Drift was a good example, how you could double your allocation. All you had to do is go and sell your tokens on Whales Market and then wait 6 hours, claim your tokens, and then give them to the buyer because you have 24 hours to give someone your tokens. So what he says here is maybe 50% unlocks immediately and the rest over 7 days. And I think I need to do like another video just relating to like specifically token launches, patience, conviction, that sort of stuff. And I might just kind of talk at the camera later today and put that out. But basically, we're not in the stage of the market where a token's going to come out and then it's just going to do a 2 and then a 3x and then a 4x. And one of the reasons why meme coins are doing so well is because they do that. They have a very different style. Obviously, it's speculation, it's fun, it's a bit of a gamble, and people love to gamble. So something like Drift, Sanctum, Zeus, Sharky, all these LFG launch tokens are proc. They're not going to do that. It's more of a, they raise some money, they get it out there, and then let them build. If they are solid, they will most likely succeed. If they're not solid, they shouldn't have been voted onto the LFG launchpad, essentially. So I like this idea. 50% unlocks immediately, the rest over 7 days. I like it. One thing that Cloud could be used for is you'd have to hold a certain amount of Cloud in order to qualify for the Sanctum Verified Partner Program. Initially, I said that Validator.com wasn't going to go after Sanctum just because it adds like an extra step of kind of risk. However, now we're actually kind of keen. And of course, we'll have to fight others to get in. I'm sure we'll be able to get in because I think we do a huge amount for just staking education. But now, basically, you're going to have some Cloud in order to get your own LST. Another really cool thing is we refuse to pay any SEX listing fees. So this is good and bad. Basically, without a SEX listing fee, you're not going to get that kind of pump. The pump that brings in FOMO, and people like FOMO, then they kind of ape in. Some will get wrecked, some make a lot. They're not going to pay anything. Of course, the SEX can go and actually list the token for them. These SEX listing fees can be decent, 1%, 3%, 10%, as well as, hundreds of thousands of dollars. I'm not sure what they are in this cycle, but in 2017, Binance would charge potentially millions of dollars to list something. And probably in the last cycle, it would have been maybe upwards of $500,000 for some tokens. Now their thesis here is the tides are changing. We have critical mass of Solana native users, and their goal is to push forward the decentralized meta and to build a Solana native economy. Now these are the actual tokenomics. Now, of course, I've already seen some people in comments for this, but overall, I'm fine with it, completely fine with it. I'll go over these in another video, or maybe tomorrow or something like that. They've done a decent raise, so the investors need to eat. Team needs to be incentivized. The community, they obviously make it successful. You've got the launch airdrop, this is 10%. LFG launch, this amount of money here. This is what they're aiming to raise. And they've got a reserve of tokens, which I think from memory is a strategic reserve. So the strategic reserve here, 30% of the supply has been allocated to the strategic reserve. It'll be used by the team to grow Sanctum ecosystem. And as an example, maybe acquire something. One thing to keep in mind is Sanctum was actually called Socian, and they're actually like 3 years old or something like that. And I kind of engaged with Socian way back when. And that's one of the reasons why if you buy INF, it's so much more valuable than Sol. It's more on par with MSOL because this liquid staking token has been around for 3 years, and so it's accrued more value. There's a couple of other points that we should go through. So firstly, Sanctum Wonderland Season 1, it's over. It's complete. Over 300,000 people signed up. There's not going to be 300,000 people. It's going to be 300,000 wallets. But maybe that is like 150,000 people or so. Regarding cupcakes, information is coming soon on this. And thanks for everyone that used my referral. I'll have some cupcakes. Hopefully they are valuable in some way. In terms of the roadmap, no information on TGE. I would imagine it would be probably within the next month or so. And Wonderland Season 2, TBA as well. Once again, with the tokenomics, this is not going to be a big pump. This is going to be they have to ship, take on feedback, change some things. And I think then the token would grow steadily over the course of, a year or so. We'll go over this in more detail in another video. Now, if you want to, you can go to Drift and you can go and trade. I have a referral link for Drift as well. However, please, I really wouldn't encourage you to go and trade this on a perps market right now. One token, 47 cents. I do see it coming down from that value, but people could push it up in the meantime, and then you're just going to get wrecked. Now, for all the farmers out there, you've jumped into INF, you've grabbed your points. If you want to go and then sell that for Sol, if a lot of people are selling like they were, there will be a dip in the price. So you can go to Sanctum and you can just try and swap it for lower slippage, or you can just be a little bit more patient. Either way, if you're just doing a couple of Sol, you're going to be fine. But if you're doing like 1,000 Sol, you're going to miss out on a little bit of gains. When I look at the chart overall, I don't really see anything here. Maybe there's been a small dip here due to swapping. Now, right now, in terms of tokens coming out, Sanctum is definitely the hottest thing on Solana. So it's going to have a lot of scammers posing there. One thing is, remember to get this DeFi Llama dApp. It's a little wee extension, and it basically highlights any known scam accounts because there'll be a lot of fake Sanctums. And you can see comments on this are very low because only accounts that Sanctum actually follows can reply. And that's just them trying to reduce the amount of scammers. And then a public service announcement. There's been a lot of INF already drained because people have been actually jumping onto fake links. I've got a new video on RainFi, go and watch that. That talks about Magic Swap. And there's a thread here on unlocking 1,000 Sol of lending potential with only 5 Sol. Drip has a whole lot of rewards for those that want to go and buy some droplets. Then you take those droplets and then you go and reward artists for their cool art. Over $50,000 worth of prizes, including 50k mother. Here's a dApp that I haven't covered, but I've tried it and I do like it. Flash trade is similar to Dupe Perps. In just 5 months since the mint, the Flash Beasts have given back 560k, over $100 plus per NFT earned in real yield. They basically did this NFT drop and they used all those funds to put into Flash Trade and then just ship. The team is based in Dubai. They're doing very, very well. I don't own any Flash Trades, but it's worth checking out. Is at it again. The dog is happy to say Bonk is working together with Binance for their summer trading competition. There will be $4.2 million in prizes across multiple tournaments and exclusive offers. I'm not going to engage in this in any way because 1, I don't trade, and 2, the traders on Binance are like world class. So the average person will not capture any of that as far as I'm aware, but it's still good that Bonk is getting their name out in so many different places. If you're keen to learn about Firedancer, this is the Solana validator client that can push 1 million transactions per second on a testnet environment. You can go and watch this here. This would probably be a little bit technical and meaty, and it is a whole hour. So maybe one day in the future, I can get people on for short podcasts where we try and explain like I'm 5 version of things like this. But if it interests you, you can also watch it right here on YouTube. Mother is doing well. It's broken $150 million market cap, and there are some people calling for it to go to $1 billion. And Iggy, she's just smart. Now, obviously, it's a picture of a butt. So it's funny, but it's funny for, I don't know, it's non-conventional funny. Generally, meme coins are animals, and this one's a bit different. She had a really funny reply recently. I don't really remember. Maybe it's in her replies. It was relating to Vitalik. This was it here. Now, Vitalik is obviously one of the founders or co-founders of Ethereum, and he basically put out a tweet saying, I don't like, how these celebrities are launching these things, that he doesn't agree with it. And that's fine. Like, we can all have this kind of take. And I also understand, I also agree. But at the same time, the blockchain is permissionless, and he knows that almost better than anyone. Anyway, this funny thing is he was just hangry. Now, if we have a quick look at Bird Eye, we can go and have a look and see actually kind of what the price is. And there's a potentially cool tool that I hope to be able to show you in a few days, which actually does some analysis on meme coins. So I'm still researching at the moment, and then I'll let you know how it goes. It's always hard to know if these things are going to be successful. One reason why this was so successful and it's gone up a very decent amount very quickly is because she learnt so much about memes, about crypto Twitter, and she just started pushing, and then people were rallied behind that. Quite often what people will do is they jump in with a token and they jump on a space, they know nothing. And I haven't listened to any of her spaces, but she's kind of pushing this and it's clearly paying off. So I have no idea what you want to do here. Right now, obviously there's potential, but maybe it could go, a 5x, maybe it could go a 10x. Maybe the risk is worth the reward. I'm just not sure. Anyway, Bobby, who's a bit of a meme coin master, he says 1 billion easy. And this is what Vitalik said, by the way, basically feeling unhappy about this cycle's celebrity experimentation so far. Now, for anyone that wants to create content, you should join the Solana Collective. This is where they can give you feedback and advice, and they have an XP system and all that sort of stuff. I'm part of them. I'm not active in the Discord because I'm just basically busy creating videos. But for anybody that wants to make content, check them out. If you have a MadLad, in order to qualify for the Aethir Cloud drop, you must link an EVM address to your Sol wallet, and the deadline is June 9th, 10 a.m. UTC. I have no clue what this is. It's basically a deep-in project, and I think it's definitely going to be worth it. I mean, look at the number of followers. Now, there were a couple of people asking me about Scales. So follow this Twitter account here, and if we quickly go to Bird Eye and type in Scales, this is essentially a meme coin that was launched by some people that have the goal to protect people and their wallets. I've got a little bit of a TLDR. Let's just see if I can get this to load properly. So right now, the reason why there's plenty of buzz around it, of course, is because, the token price went crazy. For some reason, it's not showing me the percent it actually increased, but it's essentially a completely free airdrop. As far as I'm aware, no pre-sale or anything like that. And it went over $10 million as a market cap. So let me show you how you basically do this. So you go to scales.baby, then get protected now. Then you have to log in with Discord. Now, of course, if you want to get involved, you're welcome to, but you're not going to get a massive airdrop of Scales. That's already been done in the past. So if you're part of NFT communities or if you're held Bonk or things like that, if you did it in the past, if you jumped into their Discord, if you got the protected role, then you would have got an actual decent airdrop. And of course, the price went up. Now, if we jump into our Solflare wallet, we'll just go with this wallet actually. Let's be fine. I'll save this wallet here. We go and do all these things, which I probably can't show you. Maybe it's in the dashboard, home, maybe it's here. When you do this for the first time, there's going to be a thing which says like, get educated or learn. And this is going to teach you what not to do in terms of falling for scams and stuff like that. Then you go and create this egg. I have no idea about this egg. You put in this here, and then you get a welcome gift of 995,000 scales. If you have more scales than this, then you can actually be part of the DAO. What they do with scales is it's a token 22 standard. And if you are hacked and you lose your scales, you can actually propose a vote to the DAO to get your scales back. But ideally, if you join this community, or if you get your friends to join this community, they'll learn enough to essentially just keep themselves safe. So then we click claim now, and it takes us here. We have to go and copy this address or whatever address is there, jump to our wallet here, go to our Sol and send 0.0023. This is normal, that's 40 cents worth, and send. Confirm. Once it's sent, we will then receive, probably within a few minutes, the actual scales. Now, as I mentioned, this is like 8 cents worth of scales. Maybe it goes up in the future. And what you're doing with that Sol is, well, some of it goes to token rent, which is normal, and others goes to gas and anti-bot fees. And then as you can see, the airdrop will arrive in about 3 minutes. Okay, and it actually says it's in our wallet. So we should be able to scroll on down. Scales, 8 cents. We're rich. So I do like it. However, keep in mind, if you had NFTs, if you weren't protected before previous dates, and protected means you had the role in Discord, then you were not eligible for an airdrop. So if you didn't get the airdrop, then all you can do basically right now is go and get this welcome gift of 995,000. And maybe in the future, you can claim more airdrops or participate in the community. Do whatever you like. Now just keep in mind, you cannot go and claim retroactively the airdrop for the Bonk stakers or anything like that if you did not have the protected role. If you had the protected role, you would have already got the scales. So right now, you can go and do this, get 8 cents. I think it's more about being educated and just being part of a community that's going to try and keep people safe, as opposed to potentially making a whole lot of money on scales. Actionables, 6th of June, Solana ecosystem call today, 4 p.m. UTC. Earn crypto by doing super team earn bounties. DCA Sol on dupe and stake with Validate.com, of course. Remember to stake 100 dupe and hold 20 million bonk in a few wallets if you can afford it, and use dBridge Finance with 100 staked dupe. I'll put out a tutorial on dBridge Finance today or tomorrow. It's very, very simple. I think everyone knows how to use it, but for those that don't, I'll put out a tutorial. And look into Mother. I have a tiny bit of Mother, so I'm not going to be dumping on you, but their meme game is strong. And personally, what I'm doing is I'm looking to see how they act. So in the future, when a good meme coin kind of pops up in terms of branding, if they have a similar engagement style to Mother, then maybe I think that could be successful as well. That's it for today. Catch you tomorrow.